guys, I hope you're all doing well and that you had a great week. To all of my lovely house guests, make yourselves comfortable. If you're visiting my channel for the first time and you'd like to become a house guest, don't forget to hit subscribe and activate all of your notifications. I'm Chez, this is Chez M0i. Welcome to my place. House rules. Please do not watch this video if you have absolutely no interest in the subject matter as indicated by the thumbnail, you struggle to simply accept other people's opinions when they don't necessarily align with yours, you're a professional point misser, you are not able to engage respectfully. Remember that there are countless other channels that cater specifically to your needs and preferences. Therefore, please feel free to exit this video and engage with their content instead. Welcome to episode 11 of Coffee Chats, a series of alternative perspectives. I had a meeting in central London today, and as I was leaving the meeting, I started thinking about confidence and what that looks like. But before we get into today's episode, you may remember that the previous episode, episode 10, was centered around mental health. Some of you were kind enough to share your thoughts in the comment section, and as usual, I've selected two, and here they are. This comment comes from Darlene Vendries 9050. Please accept my apologies, Darlene, if I've pronounced your name incorrectly. Darlene says, "Thanks, Chez. May you have a blessed Saturday. Yes, I think we have to look to the young ones nowadays. They have so much on to deal simply because the world has evolved so quickly and some just cannot cope. I lived in an age where mental well-being meant you are crazy, mad, or you had to be tough and get on with it. No time for any self-reflection. Thankfully, I'm retired now and have time for self-reflection and am at peace. Let's focus on helping others where we can see they need help." This comment comes from Reba Henderson 211. "Thank you, Chez. Our children need to have a better foundation. They need to know their history to know why their parents and ancestors behaved in certain ways. They are blind to the fact that their history did not start in slavery. We reach back much further all around the world. There is nothing wrong with us, but something has been done to us." And I thought this last sentence from Reba was very key. Not knowing who you truly are contributes to mental illness. Thank you, as always, to everyone who contributed. I really appreciate you taking the time. So while I was out, I decided to stop off at a coffee shop in Marylebone High Street. I ordered a cappuccino and an almond croissant while catching up on some personal admin. So let me know what you're drinking in the comments, and while you have that beverage in your hand, get cozy and let's get into this episode. I want to open up the conversation by first making the clear distinction between arrogance and confidence. According to CoachHub.com, arrogance is an inflated self-image. Grounded in illusion, arrogance causes people to overestimate themselves and form conflated ideas about their value. Arrogant people have a warped sense of themselves, they lack empathy, and place themselves in a superior position to others. Arrogance comes from a lack of self-awareness. They cannot see their weaknesses and exaggerate their strengths. They do not have an accurate picture of how others perceive them and lack an appreciation for the value of others. What is confidence? Confidence is knowing that you are capable of facing what is in front of you with ease. A confident person has faith in their abilities to handle challenging situations and achieve certain outcomes. Confidence comes from experience. When you witness yourself overcome obstacles and transcend limitations, you gradually gather evidence that feeds a positive self-image. Over time, you build an internal reputation with yourself that allows you to strongly believe in yourself and feel naturally confident. When Coco Gauff won the US Open in September, I have to say I was so happy. Not just because she won that tournament, but the level of confidence this young girl exuded when she did this.
Never ready when I'm serving. She went over the clock like 4 times. You gave her time violation once. How is this fair? No, you're calling the score after the point is over. It's not like we're playing 1 point. You're calling the score like 6 seconds after the point is over.
Yeah, she's 100% right.
You missed her like 4 times. She's never ready. It's not like we're having 30-ball rallies. It's 2 balls. She's going to... I'm not going. I'm going a normal speed. Ask any ref here. I go at medium pace speed. But she can't. It's every single point. And everybody in this crowd knows you're not doing the job. I've been quiet the whole match. Why do you think they clapped when you gave her a time violation? She's been missing for like 6 points. Not first set, every game, second set, every game. I didn't say nothing, but now it's ridiculous. I don't care what she's doing on her serve, but my serve, she has to be ready.
Okay, well said.
She wasn't intimidated by the referee. She wasn't intimidated by the crowd. She wasn't intimidated by potential labels that she might have been assigned. She was sure of her facts, and she was not going to back down. Even the commentator had to agree with what she said. Another young lady who I absolutely love to see standing in her confidence is Simone Biles. During yet another week when the PR teams of Meghan's in-laws are failing miserably, Meghan continues to be busy and unbothered. Yesterday, Thursday, Meghan was attending Variety magazine's Power of Women event.
We're so happy to have you here because you are one of our Power of Women honorees. You are one of our alumni, and we're so thrilled because this is a night that is about supporting women and the idea that it's important to do so, especially in the entertainment industry. Why has that been so important for you to have that support and to give that support back?
Oh gosh, I mean, this industry is just so special, and you see how many women use the platform that they have and just channel it for good. And I think as the more we support each other, it just amplifies the work, amplifies our community. I'm just thrilled to be back in it and to be able to sit in this room, be in such good company tonight, and also to focus so much on how it's the crossroads of entertainment meeting philanthropy. So really close to my heart. It's going to be a fun night.
It's going to be a really good time because it's full of women whose art has inspired us all this year. But I will say, I'm sure you've probably noticed that a certain show, Suits, has become a phenomenon yet again on Netflix. 45 billion minutes have been watched.
Is that right?
45 billion as of this week. We just found out 24 minutes ago that is the number.
Who's counting?
But literally, who's counting? What do you think is behind this renewed love for the show? Why has it become such a phenomenon again?
I have no idea. It was great to work on. Such a great cast and crew. We had a really fun time. I was on it for 7 seasons, so quite a bit. But it's hard to find a show you can binge watch that many episodes of these days, so that could have something to do with it. But good shows are everlasting.
Well, that's what you're doing now. You have now come into Hollywood in a producerial capacity. What is inspiring you? And as you're kind of looking to make these new projects, what is the thing that is, driving the work that you're going to put out into the business?
Things that make people feel I was going to say good, but it's more than that. Things that make people feel something, right? And feel a sense of community. But we have so many exciting things on the slate. I can't wait until we can announce them. But I'm just really proud of what we're creating. My husband is loving it too. It's really fun.
We're here anytime you want to make those announcements.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
We'll
We'll get in touch then. Yeah.
We're thrilled to have you here as one of our honorees, our alumni. So nice to see you.
It's great to be here.
Thank you so much.
When Angelique Jackson stated that Suits has streamed 45 billion minutes, it again underscores why the British tabloid media are literally hell-bent on destroying this woman. They will resort to calling her a Z-list celebrity, in addition to other pejorative labels, and they totally dismiss her accomplishments. Meghan was actually due to be honoured in the 2022 class of Variety's Power of Women, but wasn't included in that issue because it was around the time of Queen Elizabeth's passing. After the 3-week period of mourning, Meghan sat down for an interview with Variety, which was published as a cover story in October last year.
Hey, question for you.
Do you think that a so-called Z-list celebrity who's done nothing before and after becoming a member of the British royal family would be invited to spaces such as this? I want to digress at this point and briefly talk about Sarah Ferguson. Sarah Ferguson is still referred to as Sarah, the Duchess of York. Now, incidentally, you may or may not know that she was recently diagnosed with breast cancer, and I, for one, wish her a full and speedy recovery. With that said, she's been residing and has had business interests in the States for a number of years, after being exiled from the royal family following her divorce from Prince Andrew. And an uncomfortable fact is that even after everything she's done to bring disgrace to the royal family and their consequential rejection of her, she would love to regain favour with them. And it seems she would do almost anything to be part of that fold again. In direct contrast, however, with or without a royal title, Meghan's level of confidence in knowing who she is means that she's not seeking anyone's approval. Her confidence gives her room to pursue her philanthropic interests without having to ask permission from an archaic institution. And this is why they were taken aback when she had the authentic audacity to say this.
Yes, I mean, I think that knowing that I've just been here for 3 months, right? And in that amount of time, but with that said, for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact. I think what's interesting is I hear a lot of people saying when speaking about girls' empowerment, finding and knowing their worth, or women's empowerment as well, you'll often hear people say, well, you're helping women find their voices. And I fundamentally disagree with that, because women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice, they need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen. And I think right now in the climate that we're seeing with so many campaigns, I mean, with Me Too and Time's Up, there is no better time than to really continue to shine a light on women feeling empowered and people really helping to support them, men included in that. I mean, it makes such a tremendous difference. So, yeah, just I guess we wait a couple months and then we can hit the ground running. But up until then, I'm pretty excited. But I will say, you know, if we know how, and I certainly know how passionate I am, and Harry and I see the world so similarly in our approach of being very hands-on with things. What I can say is that I have been fortunate enough to meet with some incredible women and organizations in general in the UK that are doing work here, but then also knowing that some of the work that I've done in the past has been in Commonwealth countries like Rwanda, India. So this reach, I think, can have some really nice legs to it once we can start. But
After
I guess,
May.
yes, exactly. To be continued.
Okay.
This is also one of the reasons why she's invited into such spaces as yesterday's Power of Women event. Now, some of you ladies, I'm talking to ladies at the moment, you know that there's a high price to pay for being confident. And in order to preserve your peace, you need to develop a thick skin very swiftly. When people see that you're someone who can't be manipulated or intimidated, when they see you quietly exude a level of confidence that they're not accustomed to, more often than not, they will react negatively towards you. So you need to be very clear on two things. Number one, these people will make up stories and tell lies about you in a bid to undermine that same confidence which is so disturbing to them. Number two, you are not responsible for how these people feel. Neither should you ever shrink yourself to accommodate their crippling insecurity. Here are some tips for dealing with your assigned haters. And just so we're clear, a hater is defined as a person who is jealous and critical about someone's work, achievements, and life. Number one, don't take what they say to heart. This can be very difficult because words do hurt. Words have power. And they will hurt, but it's important for you not to let that penetrate. Number two, take their interest in what you do as a compliment. You will find that the people who are supposed to be your biggest haters, they're the ones who watch you most closely because they want to emulate you and what you do. Number three, don't stop doing what you do. Despite the criticism, despite the snarky comments, despite them trying to put you down, never stop what you're doing. What you're doing is the reason that they're focused so much on you. Number four, continue to believe in yourself. It is very important. Without self-belief, you can't achieve anything. Number five, surround yourself with good friends. As an example, Meghan has a very good friendship group. We've seen that from time to time. And they appear to be very loyal to her. Number six, let your actions, work and achievements speak louder than your words. Yeah, you don't need to shout from the rooftops what you're doing. Those who feel the need to proclaim to all and sundry that they're doing something are not doing anything at all. Let your work speak for itself. Number seven, if the criticism is constructive, take it on board. People will not agree with you 100% of the time. It's impossible for that to happen. You should never expect that. Filter out what you know to be nonsense. But criticism which is constructive rather than destructive, always be ready to be open. Number eight, treat haters with kindness. What I've realised in my life is that people who are combative, they love the backwards and forwards. They love the arguments. They love it when you go back and forward with them. Don't do that. What will disarm them is if you say a kind word to them. They don't know what to do with that. Hard as it may be, treat your hater with kindness. And the final one, number 9, which I'm not going to lie, guys, I struggle with. Pray for them. In brackets, if you feel able to. I do struggle with this. Yeah, that one I am still working on that one. Some I have prayed for and some I haven't. And yeah, as I say, I'm a work in progress. But these are practical tips to deal with those who are jealous, critical of your work, your achievements, and your life. We live in a world where ruthlessness, underhandedness, and unkindness are promoted and celebrated as stepping stones to becoming successful. But when you operate from a place of authenticity as a purpose-driven individual, it makes people extremely uncomfortable. In fact, it makes people go absolutely mad. If you're making people mad today, then this is for you. Let them stay mad. So now, as I wrap up this video, guys, it's over to you. What does confidence mean to you? Are you someone who lacks confidence? If you are, do you think it paralyzes you and stops you from moving forward in life? Are you someone who used to lack confidence and has now overcome that challenge? Can you share ways that you've managed to do that? Leave your comments below, and as always, I'll select 2 at random to be featured in the next episode. If this episode has provoked your thoughts in any other ways, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet become a house guest, don't forget to hit subscribe and activate all of your notifications. I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we shall catch up in the next episode of Coffee Chats.
She was great, always please and thank you, always eye contact, always engaging, having a really great time with her friends in this private room, so she had no excuse to be anything other than herself because she was now in a safe environment. And so I saw, in my opinion, what I feel was the real Meghan. She was just alone with her friends, and I was a bit of a fly on the wall, and I thought she was fantastic. The night ended, she left, she said goodbye to all of us. I did say to my colleague after, everything was said and done, what did you think of her? Since he was the main person in the room and he spent a significant amount of time in there. He said to me, Krista, I gotta tell you, she's one of the nicest human beings I have ever met in my life. Not celebrity, not civilian, doesn't matter. Totally the nicest human I have ever met in my life. He couldn't stop raging about her. So maybe everybody needs to back off a little bit and give her a little bit of grace because she's really lovely.